The Chicago Bears have signed a former Pro Bowler and All-Pro, which is certainly interesting. We'll tell you about him in a moment. Plus, Mike Tomlin provided an Aaron Rodgers injury update. Is he going to play? Is he not? That is still up in the air, but we will catch you guys up on the latest. My name is Harrison Graham. This is Chicago Bears Now. We are so close on a big milestone, folks. 140,000 subscribers. You get to that kind of flat number 110, 120, 130, 140. It just means a little bit more. And thank you guys so much. All the new subscribers, all the old subscribers, non subscribers who are watching. If you're a diehard Bears fan and you haven't subscribed, free and daily content, let's get that number up to 140,000. All right, the Bears have signed a former All-Pro, that is linebacker, really special teams ace, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, who you guys may or may not be familiar with. Most of his career has been spent with the Detroit Lions. He is signing immediately with the practice squad. And just a little background on who this guy is for those who don't know. Played his college ball at Tennessee, was a fourth-round pick with the Lions in 2017, played his first 5 years in Detroit, left to go to the Texans in 2022, and then came back the last 2 years with the Lions. Had not been on a team this year, but now has signed with the Bears practice squad. And while he's a linebacker, he's a special teamer first, and he's a damn good one. That's how he became an All-Pro and a Pro Bowler back in 2023 with the Lions. And that year alone, he had 10 special teams tackles. So this is a guy who has been a reliable player in the third phase of the game for many, many years, and it's been a bit of a struggle for the Bears so far this season. Obviously, Ben Johnson being in Detroit, he should be familiar with him as well as some of the other assistant coaches. You look at his career numbers here, 221 tackles over 114 games. So he's played in this league for a long time. 9 TFLs, 8 pass breakups. So he has played on defense some. 5 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries as well. He does only have 14 career starts at linebacker. 11 of those, I believe, came in 2021. So he's a fine backup linebacker, but his primary role and the reason he's lasted in the NFL as long as he has is because of his ability to play in all of the special teams units. So I would expect that to be his role here, assuming they're going to fast track him either to the 53 or to be a game day elevation, which he will be eligible to do 3 times from the practice squad. Random fun fact here, he is the NFLPA president. So he represents the Players Association as the president. So, when, Jamar Chase is doing his appeal of a one-game suspension, like Reeves-Maybin is directly involved in those situations. So that is certainly an interesting fact. Hey, you want to help ban the tush push? Who said that, Jalen Reeves-Maybin? I don't know. Me. I'd love to get that out of the game, but that is another topic for another day. But yeah, he got elected last year. They're usually 2-year terms, so we'll see if he serves another one. But he is currently the PA president. Chris Emma had the note on Reeves-Maybin that he fills the spot left by Jake Moody, who got poached by the Washington Commanders yesterday. Mentioned his special teams credentials, which I mentioned as well. And Emma says they're clearly looking to upgrade there. So I don't think this is some random practice squad signing. He's a vet of 7 or 8 years in this league. This is a guy that they expect to ramp up and play on game days. Now, whether or not he plays this Sunday, we'll see. But hopefully he can improve and elevate Richard Hightower's group. Now, I will say this. I thought the kickoff coverage was much better this last week. At the same time, they gave up a long punt return. They missed a field goal, so they had a bad penalty. Kick catch interference by Josh Blackwell at one point. So the special teams group has yet to play a fully complete game. Hopefully this guy, with his experience, with his ability, also just not just on the field, but hopefully can be kind of a voice for that unit. Like, hey, let's cut this garbage down that we've been putting out there, because it has not been consistent week in and week out. Last week was a roller coaster. The highs of the game-winning kick and the Devin Duvernay return, to the lows of giving up that long punt return and having that bad penalty by Blackwell. So hopefully Reeves-Maybin can give that third unit a bit of a boost as we enter the final 7 weeks. Grade the Bears special teams this year, A, B, C, D, or F. I think all in all, it's, D+, C- at best. It has not been great. Way too many mistakes. There's been some good moments, a couple game-winning field goals, blocked a field goal to win in the Raiders. So the irony is special teams has won you a couple games. They've also put you in some really bad positions on multiple occasions. So it's been a mixed bag. Let me know what you guys think. All right, we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers and his injury situation coming up here in just a few moments. But first, I want to tell you guys about today's sponsor. That is Turtle Beach, the #1 brand in gaming headsets and accessories. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and under the tree, a gift was waiting, one that would change every game from then on. Remember what it felt like to unwrap your very first headset? That joy, the thrill of plugging it in and stepping into a whole new world. Get that same experience all over again with the Turtle Beach Gen 3 Stealth 700 headset. This is more than just a gift. It's the ultimate throwback to those holiday mornings spent from gaming from dawn to dusk. But this time, it's even better. No more tiny mics or muffled sound, just crystal clear audio, immersive surround sound, and an insane 80-hour battery that keeps the fun going long after Christmas lights come down. I've personally used Turtle Beach's headsets and other accessories for years when I play video games, whether it's a sports game and feeling like you're in the stadium or games like Call of Duty or Fortnite. I'm ahead of the curve because I know where my opponents are. That's all thanks to Turtle Beach. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. For a limited time only, head to turtlebeach.com, use our code CHAT. That's code CHAT for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off turtlebeach.com with promo code CHAT, CHAT. Don't delay. Get the perfect gift now. Happy holidays from Turtle Beach. Link and promo code in the comments and description of this video. All right, let's talk a little Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, all eyes are on him this week as he has a fracture in his left wrist. Now, Mike Tomlin confirmed the report today that he does not require surgery on that wrist, but there's still some things to work through in terms of whether or not he'll be able to play on Sunday. Kind of a long quote here, but I think it's all relevant. He said, Aaron's got a fracture in his wrist. It does not require surgery. Really, it's just about bracing it and securing it for his comfort and safety. And then it's about how functional he is. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. So we don't have the answers to that as we stand here today, but certainly I would imagine we'll get some clarity as we push through the week. I think his experience really kind of aids in that. He's the type of guy that doesn't require a ton of physical work in an effort to be ready to play, so that's helpful. A little later in the week, we'll take a look at Aaron. Friday's probably a big day in terms of some of those things. I know he's working his tail off to be a component this week. He and I talked yesterday. He expressed that directly. So, to that last point, clearly he wants to play for a couple of reasons. One, Pittsburgh is in the thick of an AFC North race. The Ravens have cut the gap down to 1. At one point, Pittsburgh was 4-1 and the Ravens were 1-5. Now the Steelers are 6-4 and the Ravens are 5-5. So it's tightened up significantly. And two, you're just not going to convince me that Aaron Rodgers doesn't look at this game as a little bit something extra, right? Considering the amount of success he had in Green Bay against the Bears. It's been a while since we've had to show this graphic, but his career against the Bears, he just killed Chicago. He loves playing the Bears. He loves beating the Bears. He infamously said, I own you, or whatever that direct quote was a few years back. He's just been a Bears killer. So you're not going to convince me that he does not want to play in this game, and he is not going to do everything he can to play in this football game. Now, remember what Mike Tomlin said. Can he be functional? Well, I think what he means by that is a couple of things. Well, number one, can he handle a snap from under center? You're taking that snap from the center straight like this. So, can his left hand hold up and take that snap? Because, you got a fracture in there. That's a fair question. So they're probably going to have to test that throughout the week. The ability to grip the football, not with this throwing hand. He's obviously going to be able to grip and throw, but when you hand the ball off, when you turn to your right and hand it off, you can't really do that with your right hand. Now, you can maybe have your right hand help secure it, but that's not really natural. Standing in the pocket, too, he's got to at least be able to have that left hand at least somewhat on the ball to, from a turnover or protection standpoint. So he's got to be able to at least somewhat grip the ball with his left hand. And then lastly, I would say show he can absorb contact. Is the Bears or Steelers medical staff comfortable if he were to fall down on it? Whatever they wrap it with or a soft cast or whatever, is there severe risk of further injury? Those are all things that they are going to look at. But the functionality is just like the basic things you have to do to play quarterback, taking snaps, handing the ball off, the ball handling, all those things. He's a veteran. He can work around some things, but if he can't grip the ball, he can't grip the ball. But it certainly sounds like with the way he's reportedly pushing toward playing, he probably feels like he's going to be able to do it. Tomlin even said that Rodgers was pushing to get back into the game last week, so I think that's somewhat noteworthy as well. But the under center thing is interesting to me because Arthur Smith does do a lot from under center. You would think they wouldn't want to go to strictly a shotgun offense, which would be easier on Aaron to take the snap, but would limit some of their offensive, personnel groupings and just overall plays that they can call. Rodgers this year has been solid. I would say the word is solid in terms of how he's played. He hasn't played as well the last few weeks, but I think for what Pittsburgh signed up for and considering how it looked in the Jets, he's actually been pretty decent so far this year. I'd be pretty shocked if he doesn't play. The motivation factor, they're in the playoff mix. It could be his last season. The Bears, the Bears part of it too. It's like, even if he plays another year, what are the chances he plays the Bears again at all? And certainly at Soldier Field, pretty low, because the crossover is this year NFC North, AFC North. So it would almost certainly, unless he plays for another team, have to be at a Super Bowl scenario, which, that's a long shot that the Bears would play the Steelers in the Super Bowl this year or next year. So, I think he's going to be pretty motivated to try and get out there. My guess is he plays, and we see what they do to work around that left wrist and hand issue. I want to ask you guys, though, do you want him to play? Because, I've gone back and forth on this. The perfect scenario is he plays and the Bears beat him, right? It's all right. We got the last laugh. Yep, you own the Bears for 15 years, but not anymore. It's kind of closing the book on that chapter, right? Kind of and that's been a theme of the Bears this year: getting revenge, redemption. Beating the Commanders after last year, beating the Vikings after losing in Week 1. The Flacco thing, you turn that page. Winning in close games, you've kind of done a 180 on a lot of these things that you struggled through the last couple of years. Beating Aaron Rodgers the last time you play him, especially at Soldier Field, that would feel fitting for this team. And so for that reason, I want him to play. But as I've said, if he doesn't, I'm not going to shed a tear. You play who you play. You got to be ready to go and to win this game, regardless of who's out there at quarterback. So you let me know if you want him to play. Type Y for yes. If you don't, go ahead and type in for no. All right, that's going to do it for Chicago Bears now. Welcome to the Bears, Jalen Reeves-Maybin. I'm curious to see if he plays this week. Would not be shocked if he was a practice squad elevation right away. And we'll continue to monitor the Aaron Rodgers situation. First injury reports of the week drop tomorrow. Adam Schefter did say that he's unlikely to practice tomorrow. So, like Tomlin said, Friday's probably the big day to kind of determine if he will go or not. All right, we're out of here. Hit that subscribe button. And as always, bear down.